Katy Cornell joins us now. Katy, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Katy, you're a story that I saw over on Seattle Red caught my attention because you are talking about one of the big issues that you're discussing that everybody should be talking about. In fact, we had a story earlier today about this. Energy rates are going through the roof, and people are concerned about that for obvious reasons because everything is so crazy expensive these days. But why, specifically when it comes to climate initiatives, like why does that mean that energy has to get so expensive?
Yeah, that's such a great question. When I started, and I apologize for my voice, it doesn't hurt as bad as it sounds. So
it sounds very smoky. People actually like that sound. It's okay.
Is that from wildfire smoke, Katy? Is it?
That's from climate change. You're right.
Yeah, I've been talking too much apparently, so I apologize.
Campaigning's tough work. No, don't worry about it. As long as it doesn't hurt you, we're fine with you.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good. Yeah, so as I've been out doorbelling, talking to people, I asked them what's most important to them, what's the biggest issue, and I kept hearing over and over and over again, our electricity bills are just through the roof. And so I started looking into it to figure it out. I'm not an energy expert. It wasn't my number one reason for running. I have other passions and things. But of course, I'm like, well, if this is what matters to the people I'm running to represent, then I better figure this out. So I started looking into it and trying to wrap my head around it.
So what's happening? It's basically there are mandates for certain energy efficiencies that the state has put in place, politicians have put in place. They have to hit these benchmarks by, it's funny because you hear a number like 2030 and you think to yourself, oh, that's like when the Jetsons are going to be here. But
that's our grandkids' problem, not ours.
It's just a minute down the road. It's going to be 2030, and there's all of these mandates that these massive companies have to hit, these energy companies. And as a result of all of this new stuff that they're trying to like feverishly put into play, ratepayers are having to eat the cost with higher bills.
Yeah. Exactly. So the way that there's two different, obviously the Climate Commitment Act, which then essentially only allows us to buy so many carbon credits as a way it's a way to basically punish us for creating carbon emissions.
Sure. Right.
And that's to try to push people to go away from it. And so in that, it makes all of our energy and carbon and gas and everything super expensive because it's a supply and demand issue. They're saying we're only going to give you this much supply. So we're paying more to have the supply we have. So that's one factor of it. The other side of it is CETA. CETA is the one that they're pushing us to be at zero emissions by 2030, net neutral carbon emissions. So essentially, they're requiring all of our energy companies to switch over by 2030. And this requires billions of dollars in investment. And you're talking transmission investment, the storage for this type of energy, converting over to different energy sources. And that is all being passed on to us, the consumer. So
I know in a state that's controlled by Democratic policies, someone who speaks out against these and these energy initiative type agendas has a long way to go in pushing a rock uphill. Are you pushing for to revoke these policies or just maybe push these deadlines into a more realistic time frame?
Yeah, so great question. Yeah, no, I think we all want to protect our beautiful state. It's one of the most beautiful places on earth. All the goals are great. We just have to be realistic in how we can get there and how much we're willing to pay for that, especially when we say we care the most about working families because they're the ones paying the real price. They're hurting really bad. The electric companies are saying energy rates bills are going to go up 30% a year. 30%. I mean, that's going to be double your electricity bills in the next 3 years. You know, who can afford that?
Nobody.
Some people in Port Orchard are saying they're paying already $700 to $800 a month for a 3-bedroom house. I mean, you're talking possibly $1,400. So to answer your question, I want to propose when elected that we push out the timeline from 2030 to maybe 2035, 2040. That would allow us to decrease those bills. Instead of going up 30%, they can go up maybe 10% a year, 5% a year. But it has to go up at a rate that wages go up, that people can adjust to that. If it goes up too drastically, we're not going to be able to afford electricity.
We're talking to Katy Cornell. She's running for the 26th legislative district in Washington. Spike, you had another question?
Katy, is there a movement? Is there an appetite for this in Olympia? Are you going to be a lone voice in the wilderness on this, or are there other members that see the same common sense?
Yeah, no, I think people are realizing, and the more people can speak up about this, the better the constituents, the voters, the average person. But my understanding from talking to stakeholders is there is enough momentum building that there has to be something done. And not just because of their concern about people being able to pay for it, but the other part of the problem is our permitting process in our state is so slow that we're not able to actually get the work done to meet the goal. So that's another driving force is permits and the amount of time it takes to accomplish the rebuilds and the transmission lines. People are realizing we are not going to be able to reach that goal. It is very unrealistic.
There was this really interesting thing. We oftentimes kind of make fun. It's like a special little fun thing that we like to do. Jay Inslee, who people may or may not remember, was the governor of the state. He's thankfully no longer the governor.
First, a partial Sasquatch human to be elected to public office. So I'm going to give some credit where credit is due.
He posted something the other day because he's always posting about like green energy stuff because he thinks that's his legacy.
That's his legacy, yeah.
And actually, it's just higher gas prices, but whatever. But he posted this thing about solar power and all these great solar power jobs that were, because this company was expanding or yada, yada. And people pointed out, rightfully so, they're like, yeah, but it's in Georgia. It's not in Washington that these jobs are being created. So, yes, it's nice to have clean energy and it's nice to have these things. And we certainly have parts of the state that could have a lot of great solar energy capture. Yeah. But the problem is that we have so much regulation, like you were just saying, Katy, it makes it very difficult for businesses to invest in Washington. And so they just do it elsewhere.
Yep. Yes, exactly. And a lot of the solar and wind energy as well isn't even being made in America. It's being made in China and other things like that. So if you just get into other bigger things as well, it's not even all even American jobs. So, yeah.
All right. Well, Katy Cornell, Spike, did you have another question? You good?
There are 2 seats in the 26. Am I right? Am I right about that?
Yeah, 2 House seats. Yep. And I'm running in the open seat that was held by Michelle Caldier.
Okay, she's moved on. That's what I was curious about. Okay,
so Katy Cornell,
best of luck to you.
Yeah, best of luck. And if you're interested in finding out more about her campaign, you go to katycornell.com. Is that the best place people can go?
Yeah, if you want more common sense solutions, find me there.